Broadcasting from Manhattan Beach and the World Wide Web, you're listening to CHSR HealthyLife.net.
As a service to our listeners, this program is for general information and entertainment purposes only. CHSR HealthyLife.net does not recommend, endorse, or object to the views, products, or topics expressed or discussed by show hosts or their guests. We suggest you always consult with your own personal, medical, financial, or legal advisor.
Time now for the Business Beat. Join your host, Ralph White, along with his co-hosts, Leanne Farmer, Bonnie Landau, and Mary Mollenhoff, and their guests. Business Beat, keeping their finger on the pulse of business to increase the flow of profit. Here now is your host, Ralph White, and the Business Beat.
Welcome to another show on the Business Beat. I'm here today with Leanne Farmer. Hello, Leanne. How are you today?
I'm very well. Ralph, how are you?
Excellent, excellent. I'm excited about our show. We got lots of possibilities, as always, from Possibilities Unlimited. And we're here to coach you in the game of business, to support you in winning. And we define winning as producing results that you can be accountable for. You know, as a business coach, we're constantly looking to support our coachees, or the people we're working with, in improving their skills and being more effective in whatever it is they're working on in the game of business. So we're doing really well in our Sales to Win courses. You know, we're having some, big results that people are producing in those classes. I'm really impressed with, sales that are going up, and what we're seeing.
What I love about that class is when people really open themselves up to a new possibility, a new sales number, a new intention, a new way of doing things through that course that really gets them energized and ready to get back in the game and really achieve some great things in their business.
Yeah, like the gentleman that's, 3 weeks ago, he had no sales, nothing in the pipeline, signed up for the course, and 3 weeks later, he's sold $20,000 worth of business and has $800,000 worth of quotes. And 3 weeks ago, he was in the point of I'm desperate for work.
Right.
Yeah,
so that's a good testament to what we're doing in that course, for sure.
Yes. So, and he said it was just him shifting and getting focused. He was just off track. It was just sort of like his, the laser beam was headed in the wrong direction. He was just, looking like an airplane headed in the wrong direction. And we got his radar dialed in on what he needed to be doing. And once he got focused, he was, on track.
Right. And just to get help from outside.
Right.
That is truly important when you're needing to make a change in your sales and your business, trying to figure out what's not working and how to fix it. You got to be open to making some change and getting some help and seeking a new direction. And that's part of what we do in the Sales to Win course.
Right.
We provide the support and the accountability that you need to deliver on your intentions.
Okay, good. So who's our guest for today, Leanne?
I'm really excited about today because it brings back a lot of fond memories of when I used to be in banking back in the day, and we used to have all kinds of unbelievable parties for our clients, and did things up big. And with the tough economy that we've been having over the last few years, I think that corporate events is probably something that people have kind of pushed to the back burner. So I really wanted to ask our guest today, Deidre Jericho, to be with us to talk to us a little bit about corporate events and how you can use that as a tool to grow your business. And she'll kind of tell us what are some of the pitfalls and things. But I do want to introduce my guest, Deidre Jericho. She is the CEO of DBA Entertainment, which operates in the Southern California area. Deidre, welcome to the program.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for having me on.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Thanks for being our guest. For our listeners, Deidre cut her teeth in the record industry, working for Warner Brothers, and through that process kind of did a few events for them over the years, and finally started her own business, and for the last 3 or 4 years has been running her own company called DBA Entertainment. Deidre, what can you tell us about DBA and the scope of the services that you provide?
Well, sure. What we do at DBA Entertainment is, in a nutshell, we are project managers, and our core competencies are event production and PR. Within event production, we handle all the logistics. We liaise with the vendors. We do site selection. We handle the entertainment aspect of our events. And then also within PR, we handle email marketing. We do all the outreach. We do sponsorship. We communicate, I should say, with wire service and different PR agencies for our clients.
That's great. So you don't just figure out what kind of food we're going to eat and where we're going to eat it, but you also promote the events and kind of see things through start to finish, huh?
Absolutely. We are a one-stop shop.
Wonderful. So tell me a little bit about what people, if they're considering doing a corporate event, because what we're kind of seeing in the economy right now is that things are starting to trickle back. You know, where the Dow has been kind of inching upward. We're expecting a good jobs report on Friday. You know, things are starting to turn around. Are you kind of seeing that people are starting to host more events now?
Oh, absolutely. People are starting to host more events, but it's still kind of slow.
Mm-hmm.
So, but things are definitely starting to pick up.
So how can a big event work in a company's favor? I mean, what are the advantages of hosting? And it doesn't even necessarily have to be that big, does it? It can be like a small group seminar or something like that.
Oh, absolutely. Doing an event could be anything from a business meeting of 10 people to a big corporate gala to, a sales meeting. So it could be a variety of things, absolutely.
How could I use an event to increase my sales?
You can use an event to, for branding purposes. It's really, an opportunity for you and your business to really showcase and market your services. So the more events that you have, even if it's just meeting your clients or showing off a new product, to me, it's a very useful marketing tool.
So I would gather clients and do demonstrations of the products.
Yes, you can do that.
Okay, and do you, in doing these events, are we talking about doing them in hotels, or are we doing things more uniquely in different venues nowadays?
I'm a very creative person, so I can use hotels. I can do a lot of different venues. I'm very well connected with different venues, so I've started to use a lot of independent spaces. So it's not just hotels. It could be clubs. It can be just about anywhere. Anywhere can make a really great venue. It just depends on what it is you're trying to accomplish, and what your vision is for the event.
Uh-huh. So can you tell us a little bit about the process? Let's say I have a company and I've got a new product that I want to roll out, and I kind of want to do some sort of introductory, evening event. And I come to you and I say, I don't really have a whole lot of ideas other than I really want to promote this product. What's your process then with working with me to figure out what kind of event I need to have and kind of get the ball rolling?
Okay, it's all about really knowing who your target audience is. Once you've figured out who your target audience, who you're trying to reach, who you're trying to market to, everything else is just, a matter of figuring out the logistics. Because, who you're marketing to is what is going to determine the success of whatever your objective is.
So would you work with the client to help them develop who that target market is?
Yes, absolutely. If they don't have that idea already in mind, then that's something that I will do with the client.
Okay.
Could you give me some examples of target markets?
For example, if you are in the product business and you're trying to market a product, then you have to know who you're selling to. So if you are in, for example, the music industry, which is where I came from, and you're trying to promote a new album, then you have to know who your listening audience is, who the demographics are, and then, go from there.
So what kind of things what kind of questions should people be asking you if they're coming to you to help plan an event?
First of all, they would need to know, I suggest to anyone that they do, research their planner, find out what their credentials are, what they've done. That simply just tells you a little bit about their success rate, but it also tells you if they can help you realize the vision that you want for your event. So, definitely find out about their credentials. Really find out how they can help you save money, because if you get a sense for a planner who's helping you do an event and you feel like they're probably overcharging a lot of money. In most cases they are, so it's very important to, just ask them lots of questions, ask them about who they've done and, for them to give you examples of what they can do for you.
Do you recommend talking to a handful of planners before making your choice? Maybe it depends on the size of the event, or
Absolutely. And, as I said to you before, we are a one-stop shop, so to me it makes more sense to go to someone who offers a variety of things, because I think it can get really frustrated for the client if, they have to go to one planner for, the venue, and then somebody else has to handle the catering. So all of that, if you can find someone who, has it all, to me that's a better cost-saving method.
Uh-huh. And speaking of asking questions, let's make sure our listeners know that they can call in and ask Deidre if you have some questions about, you're thinking about having an event and there's something that you want to know about. Give us a call here at the studio. We are at 800-555-5453. You can talk to Deidre Jericho of DBA Entertainment. Now, Deidre, I'm sure that a lot of people's big concern when it comes to this is budget. So what kinds of things, you alluded to the fact that maybe you can offer some cost savings because you're a one-stop shop. What are some other ways that people can still have a nice event these days and keep it within a budget?
Go green, for example. Cut out all the paper invitations. Do a lot of electronic marketing. To me, that's a big help. You also want to partner with like-minded vendors, also people who are also going green. So those, I think going green would be the primary thing to do, especially now, because you'd be surprised how much money, printed materials cost, and, to take that element out of it, that saves a lot of money.
Typically, if I'm doing an event, let's say that I'm, again, rolling out a new product, and I want, let's say, 50 people at the event, and I'm going to do a lunch, what kind of money am I talking about?
It really all depends. I mean, it could be a high number, such as $5,000. I'm sorry, a low number would probably be about $5,000, because that's also going to depend on your venue and all the other elements that you want to incorporate in your lunch. Or it could be a high number, of $20,000. So it really depends on the venue, because the other things you have to consider is, first of all, your venue. And at that venue, what is the situation with catering? Do they have their own in-house catering, or can you bring your an outside caterer? Or if you're going to have like a liquor as part of your event, do they have an in-house liquor situation going on, or is that something you can do by bringing in somebody else? So those are primarily the things that you have to consider when you're doing something like that. It's what will the venue allow? What won't they allow? So.
Mm-hmm. And how do you manage? I'm sure, I would imagine that you get people that come in and say, oh, I want to do this and this and this, and I've got this great big idea, and I've only got, this little tiny bit of money. How do you bridge the gap between people's budgets and their expectations?
There's always a way around things. It's all about communication. So there's really always a way. It's for me as the planner, I have to communicate what the realities are, and just kind of go from there. So maybe they can't afford the Beverly Hilton, but because I'm very well connected with so many other venues, I can get them a more reasonable venue for their for what it is they're trying to accomplish. So it's about communication, which is a two-way street. They have to be honest with me, and I have to also be honest with them.
Okay, good. So
you've been in business for, you said, I believe, 3 years?
Officially 3 years. The business actually started in 2002, 2003, around then. During my tenure at Warner, I was, in addition to my job in the royalty department, I was doing a lot of events for some of the artists, maybe rap parties, cast parties, CD releases. And that's how the interest really started. And so then I started looking for freelancing opportunities on my own to kind of like brush up on my skill. So I was doing it part-time, so really the business itself was, being operated on a part-time, but as of 2007, it became a full-time operation.
So you're a good example of someone that's taking a skill that they had and then taking it into becoming self-employed. So you would be a good person to actually be able to speak to people, our listeners. That was to going from being an employee to being an entrepreneur must have been quite a challenge.
Yes.
You know, what are some of the things that you had to, had to shift, or what did you have to, what's different between being an employee versus being an owner?
Oh my goodness. You go through a lot, but to me the rewards are a lot greater. As being self-employed, as the owner of the company, I think one of the biggest things that I've had to really deal with is being in charge of other people, being in charge of the staff. As an employee, I signed my paycheck for my timesheet every, 2 weeks or whatever, and somebody else was responsible for, making sure that I get my check or whatnot. So, but in this situation, I am the one who has to, make sure the employees are being paid. I'm the one who has to make sure all the legalities are taken care of. I go through so much, but I really, the rewards are so much greater because now I can come as I please. I have my own. It's so much rewarding to see all my creative energies and everything that I've done come to life. So to me, it's a lot great. The outcome is a lot greater.
Yeah. So you're living the American dream, which is to be self-employed, and I've encountered a lot of people are not able to make that leap. And even though right now there are a lot of people that are considering it, a lot of people looking at, I don't have a job. How do I become self-employed? What's something that that you would tell people that want to make that leap? What is it? How did you prepare yourself to do it?
What I would tell people is for me, I've always known it's something I wanted to do. So I think, way back when, I did it on a part-time basis. I started freelancing. So I would suggest to people, I would, to really start to develop their craft while they have the means to support themselves. I wouldn't wait till an unemployment situation to all of a sudden decide to start a business, because that's very frustrating, because you have to figure out how you're going to survive and also do the little things that you need to get the business growing. So I would say when you figure out that this is what you want to do, start to develop your craft, even if it's just on a freelancing basis or a part-time basis. So it's important to start developing the craft early on.
Well, that's good advice. And then, Deidre, you were telling me the other day, because there are a lot of people that are in the event planning business where all they do is just, figure out the catering and the venue, that especially the last few years, you've had to kind of diversify a little bit. I mean, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, absolutely. When I decided to start my business, it was interesting because I thought it was such a great idea. So all of a sudden, everybody I know has an event company, and I'm like, where is all this happening? But when I started it, my idea was just to have an event production company. But then I slowly realized through research or whatever, it would be a good idea to include PR, public relations, in your services. Because I was finding out that a lot of clients that I was encountering were getting frustrated that, okay, they would have to come to me to do event production, but then they would have to go through a completely separate entity to do the promotions of it. So one of the things that I did was start to incorporate more PR within the scope of my services. And then the other thing I discovered was sponsorship and sales. That is a very lucrative aspect of, the whole event and promotions part of it. So then I started to do that.
Can you explain the sponsorship piece?
The sponsorship process, is that what you said?
Yeah. Can you explain to our listeners what you're talking about when you talk about sponsorships?
Oh, sure. Sponsorship in the sense that, say a client wants to have an event and they need corporate sponsors. So I can go through the process of getting in contact with the sponsors and, doing the pitch about what the product is. I can also work with the client on developing sponsorship levels, what the benefits are. I also handle, once the sponsorships start coming in, I also handle the administration part of it.
That's great. So if I had something and I wanted to do it, let's say I'm hosting a tennis tournament or something, and all I have is the idea that I want to host a tennis tournament. So I could come to you and get all of that put together in one place.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, that's great. Well, we are coming up on our first commercial break. Deirdre, I want you to stay on the line. We've got a few more questions for you. We're going to talk about some of the events you've handled in the past, and we'll be back real soon here on The Business Beat.
Do you own your own business? What would happen if your computer system crashed? Would you be able to recover in a reasonable amount of time? Left Brain Tech's computer services caters to business owners who want reliable computer systems that work and are backed up in case of emergency. For your entire computer needs, call 888-239-2216 or visit leftbraintechs.com. IT solutions done right with Left Brain Techs. That's 888-239-2216 or leftbraintechs.com.
Making it perfect or nothing else is the company culture at Goldbrecht USA, a premier luxury window and door manufacturer. Doing business since 1889, every window and door is made with old-world craftsmanship and the finest materials, meticulous design, sleek finishing, and a commitment to the environment. They even use environmentally friendly transportation. Made in Germany, available in the U.S., Goldbrecht USA is located in Santa Monica, California. For the world's best windows and doors, visit www.goldbrechtusa.com or call now at 310-393-5540. That's 310-393-5540.
If you're like the 8 out of 10 women that say finding jeans that fit is a problem, well, your problem is solved. Lee Jeans has done extensive research, and they have jeans that fit. There's even an online Lee Fit Finder so you can find the right fit for you. Imagine jeans that instantly slim you with a custom fit and no gap waistband. And guys, kids, Lee has jeans for you too. Click through to Lee's Jeans on the healthylife.net advertiser page and get what fits.
Put a little light in your life and keep it shining with Intellectric.net, a full-service lighting design company. If you need a top electrical contracting firm to deal with all facets of electrical, from concept to completion, including repair, call Intellectric.net at 310-838-5486. They can use green technology. They are home automation specialists, and they are high-end residential specialists. With prompt and efficient service, Intellectric.net has over 10 trucks, 28 employees, and on-call electricians available to handle your needs. Educated in state-of-the-art techniques and technology for all your electrical needs. Call dependable, innovative Intellectric.net today at 310-838-5486. Keep your light shining. Call 310-838-5486 or visit online at Intellectric.net.
HealthyLife.net for healthy side effects.
We're back here on the Business Beat. I'm Leanne Farmer here with Ralph White from Possibilities Unlimited. And our guest today is Deidre Jericho, CEO of DBA Entertainment. And she's an event planner and also does, she was talking in the last segment about how in addition to just planning events, she has diversified her business into providing PR and sponsorship services so that when you're planning your event, you can kind of do a one-stop shop with Deidre. And I want to make our clients aware that you can give us a call here at 800-555-5453. If you have a question, you're planning an event, got an event coming up, you want to ask Deidre's advice, we invite you to call in. Deidre, what's something you can say, like what's one of the biggest challenges to pulling off a successful event?
Oh, wow. It's just understanding that things can go wrong. Expect the unexpected. I mean, especially with huge events, you're dealing with so many different elements. You're dealing with so many different people. So there's always a big room for miscommunication. So, it is what it is. We're all human, and you just kind of have to remain cool and collect and, just do the best you can under the circumstances. But always know something will go wrong. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Do you find that people are pretty aware of some of the ancillary things they have to do, like getting permits and getting insurance? I would assume that you help kind of walk people through all these things they got to do.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's something that we actually handle ourselves. But there's so many aspects, depending on what kind of event, where you're having it. Is it an outdoor event, indoor event? There's so many different city, local, fire, and all that stuff that you have to consider. So, permits are a big thing, and these are things that you also need to have. Because I've been on situations, not events that I've done, but in the past when I was still kind of like learning the ropes, where people didn't have the appropriate levels of insurance, and midway the fire marshal came, and it was a big issue, and the event had to end early. So
that would be pretty devastating to my marketing plan if I had to stop my event halfway through.
Oh, absolutely. It was kind of embarrassing too. But,
Well, give us a success story. Tell us about one of your things that you're proud of, an event that you pulled off here.
Okay, I think the 2 years ago, I think I may have shared this with you earlier this week. I was one of the on the planning committee for the Image Awards. This was the 40th Image Awards, and it was exciting. That was the first time that I had ever experienced a multi-day celebration like that. It was so much work. It was so much fun. It was not only the actual awards show, but it was a week-long of events. So I was part of, some of the smaller events that happened during the week.